now tuned into the greatest.
So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause when I gon' have Metro S550s cruising. Feel like you winning on the ground.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I greatly appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code, The Run Podcast. Now, this code only applies to first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but go ahead, create that account. And maybe you might want to go to one of these Knicks games that's $700 because they about to be up 3-0 against the Boston Celtics or something. So I don't know. It'll be cool to see. But I'm excited to talk about the playoffs, man. And I think the most important thing so far this playoffs is just recognizing that there's been such great basketball. And I'll get to the Knicks series and the Celtics, Pacers, all of that stuff in just a sec. But I think it's so important to understand, we've been witnessing great basketball all season and all postseason as well. So far, there's been 16 games decided by less than 3 points. And this just been, the intensity, man, it's been amazing basketball. Amazing basketball. This is a big reason why I'm on the side of vouching for 58 games or 52 games, 64, whatever you want to say, for less games in the NBA, because when there's less games, each game becomes that much more important. And if we could somehow get this intensity that we're witnessing in the playoffs, in the regular season, I think it would just be amazing to watch all year long. But that's that part. But the important stuff here is, that the Celtics are down 2-0 against the New York Knicks. Some statistics here, just so I don't want to try and convince you about how bad the Celtics have been in this series so far with the New York Knicks. I just really want to tell you with some statistics. So I'm not even going to convince you or anything. Just listen to these statistics and they'll kind of shed light on how bad the Celtics are in this series against the New York Knicks. And then Knicks, I have a thank you coming as well. So just listen up and we'll get to that in just a second. Anyway, so the Celtics, they blew a 20-point lead in back-to-back games with home court advantage. The Celtics, they're also the Celtics, they shot 100 3-point attempts so far in this series against the Knicks within the first two games. They've made 25 of their 100 3-point attempts within the first two games at home at the Garden. Crazy. And then also the Celtics, they've led for a total of 81 minutes so far this series against the New York Knicks. But the Knicks have only led for 12 minutes, and yet the Knicks are 2-0. So these are some lopsided stats. One of the things these stats tell you right off the back is, bro, stop shooting the damn three ball. Go inside, go get an easy bucket, go shoot a layup, take the mid-range jumper, throw something, go backdoor something. You got to figure out different ways to put the ball in a hoop. And to me, this is where I see the Knicks really slaughtering the Celtics because they don't just shoot threes. Celtics have done this all offseason or all regular season, where they're just focused on shooting threes. They're pulling up, and it's nonsense. It's not the best brand of basketball. It is effective when they're making threes, but you really do live and die by the three ball. And when your team is in a slump shooting 25 for 100 in the first two games, you can bet your bottom dollar that you're going to lose those games, especially if you're not trying to change anything and switching up the game plan to get inside. For example, anybody out here? So I seen it's a picture out there on social media, and it's a picture of Jalen Brunson. He's on the ground. Jason Tatum is in a corner for a wide open three. I remember this play so vividly because I'm watching and I'm like, bro, that's all these dudes really do is just shoot threes. So I'm looking at this play, fast break. Jason Tatum's in the corner. They swing the ball to him. Jalen Brunson is down. You got Al Horford in the paint, just sitting there, mind you. Celtics have numbers right here on this possession. So Tatum corner, he catches the ball in the corner. Brunson's on the ground next to Al Horford, who's in the paint. Tatum shoots the wide open three. No other defender who's in front of him, no other defender that's even down court besides Jalen Brunson. It's three people: Al Horford, Jason Tatum, and Jalen Brunson. Brunson is on the floor. You have two Celtics teammates that are on their feet. Why not go get the easy bucket? Why not go get the easy bucket? This is things where I'm looking at the game and I'm like, bro, this is why these other teams in the East are succeeding. When I look at the Pacers play, when I look at the Knicks play, they're taking advantage of the easy buckets. And when you're a team who lives and die by the three ball, but you're not making threes, what is the best thing to do to possibly get yourself started and get the ball in the hoop? You want to get the easy buckets, get the easy layups, get the mid-range shots, just see the ball go through the hoop first, and then you expand your range back to the three-point line. Knicks have done a great job at this all series long. I thought they did a great job against the Pistons doing that as well. And this is ultimately why they're leading the Celtics 2-0 and stole 2 games from the Celtics at home. And now they're about to go back to Madison Square Garden up 2-0 and possibly be a 3-0. So I'm loving this from the Knicks, man. And, you know, that picture, though, just stays in my mind because, like, man, it's insane. Because I know Knicks shoot a lot of threes also, but they just prioritize scoring as a whole. Like, how many times do we see Mikal Bridges just shoot a mid-range jumper, turnaround jumpers? Brunson shooting turnaround jumpers. Hart putting up floaters and mid-ranges. Like, you got to put the ball in the hoop at the end of the day. And I know three-pointers at one point, the game was looking at it like it's a higher percentage shot and all of that, but it's really not helping you if you're not making it. It's hurting you. So Celtics got to make some adjustments for that. And then last thing here with the Knicks, man, I thought they were incredible on the defensive side. Celtics, they really blew both of these games. Again, as I mentioned early on, 20-point leads just went straight down the drain in game 1 and game 2. And then in game 2, fourth quarter, Celtics, they gave up a 21-2 run. Like, bro, come on, man. You can't put the ball in the hoop at all? And I know Knicks play good defense, but damn, at all? As deep as this team is, you can't put the ball in the hoop at all. And I know, look, man, Pistons, they had their time where they were struggling against the Knicks. Knicks seem to always just really dart out in the fourth quarter and go crazy. Shout out to them for doing a great job, but come on, man. Come on, man. That's crazy. So, Knicks fans, I also do want to tell you this. Let's say this, Knicks fans. Look, I know y'all up 2-0 on the Celtics. You're going back to the Garden. But as a Pistons fan, I just want to say, man, you're welcome. You're welcome for giving you a hard-fought series, for giving you a series that required a lot of effort, a lot of grit, a lot of determination, and a lot of a mental awareness to close out games in a good way. So you're welcome, man. And you know, go do your thing. Go do your thing. Smack up the Celtics in game 3. I'm cheering for you at this point, man. Hey, we delivered a great series in the first round. I said it. Pistons, Knicks. Hey, we delivered a great series in the first round. And the way it's looking, shit, if y'all didn't go, we might have had a chance to beat the Celtics. I know that was wishful thinking for us, but damn, the way y'all smacking up the Celtics right now, I mean, shit, this is applaud to you, man, because I ain't see this coming. So shout out to y'all, Knicks, man. Keep doing your thing for real, honestly, but you're welcome, man, from a Pistons fan to give y'all a great series and help y'all out. Anyway, so look, man, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to jump into some news. And then also this Indiana Pacers matchup because the Pacers, I'm excited about this series with them and the Cavs. So we'll be right back, but it is halftime, so we'll be back in a sec. And I never even told y'all, man, I had my wisdom teeth taken out. That's why it took so long for me to come back with an episode. Anyway, it's halftime. We'll be back. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. So, pod, listen to the pod. If anything, man, you know, check it out. Just check out the pod on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all that stuff. Yeah, man, I had my wisdom teeth taken out, so that shit was not fun. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's why I couldn't get these episodes out, and I'll explain that also too even more. Let's just continue on with it. But it was no joke at all, man. No joke. We're getting the wisdom teeth taken out. All right, let's do this. All right, man, let's jump into the news for the run. First off, news for the run for me, man, I had to get my wisdom teeth snatched out. So that's really why you didn't get episodes all through the game 7s of the first round and the game 6s of the first round. Because, bro, I was down bad. And up until now, I'm able to finally talk without a lot of pain and stuff. And yeah, there was medication, but nah, man, it was rough. It was rough. So I'm just happy that's over with. And for those who low-key do look at the content all the time and you're always keeping up on the content, I ain't going nowhere else, man. Don't worry about me stopping or nothing like that, man. There ain't none of that happened. I was just down bad because I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out. And yeah, man, I honestly, when I got my teeth taken out, I just couldn't feel my mouth. That sounds crazy, but no, that's what it was, bro. I just couldn't feel my mouth. And I'd be damned if I was about to be on a pod talking and I just couldn't feel my mouth. And yeah, man, I just know I would have been over here drooling, and it's a nasty sight. And you know, I feel like I'm close with some people in the audience, but I ain't that damn close for y'all to see me up here drooling and foaming at the mouth because I can't feel my mouth. All right, anyway, the actual news though, let's do it. Let's start in the NBA. So NBA, obviously, is a lot going on with the playoff tree and stuff like that. I just kind of want to give some new stuff on the playoff tree, some updates on what's going on in these series. So let's start with this series here, the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics that I just recently was talking about. So with the Celtics, they played the first 2 games in Boston, but they did fall short to the New York Knicks. Knicks are currently up 2-0. And this is just amazing to watch because, I mean, they've been playing good. I know a lot of people don't want to see this, but they've been playing good. And they came back in back-to-back games. So love to see that for the Boston Celtics in that New York Knicks series. Other than that, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. Game 2 happens tonight, Timberwolves versus Warriors. Warriors, they stole game 1 out of Minnesota, and I was shocked that it actually happened because I thought this series was going to go 5. I still think it's going to go 5 either way. But ultimately, man, Steph Curry went down, which was the reason I'm shocked the Warriors continue to win. But Wolves just struggled offensively all over. They was clearly rusty coming back from, you know, the rest period and beating the Lakers in that series. So clearly they were rusty. So, you know, I mean, hey, hopefully they knock the rust off and can continue to dominate in this series. But I think Wolves got this in 5 for sure. And then for the Knicks, I didn't get that prediction. I think Knicks got this in 5 for sure. Thunder and the Nuggets happening. That game played last night, game 2. Right now the series is tied 1-1, split evenly. But I thought it was a great game in game 1, obviously. But game 2 just was a blowout. Thunder just mocked these dudes, which was crazy. It got off to a start where they just wasn't missing shots. They just wasn't missing threes. They wasn't missing anything at all. And Nuggets just couldn't buy a bucket. So that resulted in a blowout. And then you got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers series. Man, Pacers, they stole 2 games out of Cleveland. So they're up 2-0 right now. I think this series, I think it's going to, man, it's tough. But I think Pacers end in 5. And I'll explain why in just a second. But I'm excited for this series, man. So I'll explain a little bit more. But Halliburton, he had a crazy buzzer beater in game 2 to steal another game out of Cleveland, and it was amazing to watch ultimately. But super excited for that series. Anyway, some awards that happened in the NBA. So Jalen Brunson, he was named Clutch Player of the Year in the NBA. So shout out to Brunson, definitely well deserved. And I think, man, Brunson showed that Clutch Player of the Year against the Pistons. Shit, I might have had my wisdom teeth taken out, but yeah, I still witnessed. Oh man, I was in pain. That hurt more than the wisdom teeth. Anyway, Peyton Pritchard, he won 6th Man of the Year. Kenny Atkinson, he won Coach of the Year. Evan Mobley with the Cleveland Cavaliers won Defensive Player of the Year. And then MVP, which is the big announcement everybody's waiting to hear. It will be announced next week. They're saying the week of the 12th as of right now. I don't know the exact date, so just be on the lookout for that come next week. Anyway, the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go to the NFL, man, because Cowboys is doing some moves here. They've traded for a third, or they traded a third and a 5th round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers for wide receiver George Pickens. Now, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Immediately, I'm like, I don't know, weird move. But then Cowboys, they kind of got a nice little receiving core over there because they still got CeeDee Lamb, and then they added George Pickens to the mix as well. Ultimately, I think this just adding George Pickens to that receiving core when the Cowboys already got a nice lineman. They drafted a running back. At this point, Dak Prescott, you literally have no excuse not to win that division. So, you gotta do something. So stay healthy, and Cowboys gotta win that division. Even though I really don't want them to, but Eagles done had a lot of shine in the past few years, dominating that division, and I think somebody just need to kind of knock them off the high horse. So maybe Commanders, maybe Cowboys, somebody got to do it. I know damn well it ain't gonna be the Giants. Anyway, so the Baltimore Ravens, they released their veteran kicker, Justin Tucker. And aside from like all the allegations that he's got going on, which I'm not going to explain, Tucker, he is low-key coming off of the worst kicking season of his career. A lot of people saying he fell off, he's washed, this, that, all of that. Anyway, the 49ers tight end George Kittle, he agreed to a 4-year extension worth $76 million. And then he's now the highest paid tight end in the NFL. So shout out to George Pickens. Or George Kittle. George Kittle. I don't know if I said Pickens the first time, but this is George Kittle we're talking about, the tight end. And then the NFL, man, they're going to be taking draft day to D.C. So next year, 2027, the NFL draft will be held on National Hall. So crazy move there, but Roger Goodell made the announcement last week. So it'll be interesting to see there. And then let's go back to playoff basketball too, because like I mentioned, man, I'm super excited about this series here with the Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So the Cleveland Cavaliers, obviously in a tough situation right now, down 2-0, had some heartbreaking games that they've lost in the first 2 games at home. Obviously had some heartbreaking injuries as well. Donovan Mitchell went down at the end of game 2. Evan Mobley didn't play. And obviously Darius Garland too, which is a huge piece for them. So, Cavs is kind of on a struggle bus right now. However, they did not necessarily look that way in game 2. Game 2 was a game that the Cavaliers should 1000% have won. It was no way in hell I thought they were going to lose that game. It's no reason they should have lost that game. They allowed the Pacers to crawl back from a large deficit and end up winning. But to me, Pacers more so stole that game, and the Cavs blew that game in game 2. So obviously that's heart-wrenching to watch, but the momentum right now is all on the Indiana Pacers. So one of the things I noticed with the Pacers, man, and I love this, I really think the Pacers have a chance to go to the conference finals and actually go to the NBA finals and possibly win the NBA finals, depending on who they play coming out of the West. But Pacers have not been getting a lot of respect, and I think if you watch them, it's time to give them the respect. All the Therese Halliburton slander, that's got to come to an end. That's over with. Please. Stop that. I don't want to hear no Therese Halliburton slander. I don't want to hear that he's corny. I don't want to hear that he can't do this, that he's not on the level of this guy. None of that. Therese Halliburton is elite. And if anything, in this playoffs, he's shown that in every series that he's played in, that he's an elite point guard and should be considered one of the top point guards in the NBA right now. This man has been incredible. And along with that team in the Indiana Pacers, this whole entire team has actually been extremely incredible. One of the things that I noticed with them is they're extremely dynamic. I've said this before, that they're a dynamic crew, but not only can everybody on the floor shoot, but everybody on the floor can pass, everybody on the floor can get to the rim, and everybody on the floor has a great IQ. It's deeper than just being able to shoot and having 5 guys who can spread the floor and play inside out. No, everybody has a great IQ, and I got to get a lot of that credit to the coach. So I do want to credit him, but man, this team is incredible, man. Everybody's so meticulous and smart on the floor, and they take care of the ball. Like I haven't seen it much in the regular season and even in the postseason where the Pacers are just playing sloppy, turning the ball over, or they're just not playing smart. Like usually, I mentioned the Celtics earlier, how they just live and die by the 3 ball. If they're missing threes, they're going to keep shooting them no matter what. Whereas the Pacers are just taking the best shot on the floor. And like, as a basketball fan and someone who's learned the game of basketball and loves the game of basketball when it's played correctly, the Pacers play extremely great basketball. And I love watching them when they are making these great decisions on the floor. because they consistently do it. And this is why I think they're going to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games at this point. Hopefully it's not a sweep. I do want to see somewhat of like, you know, a little pushback from the Cavs, but this team is talented, man. And all the injuries they're going against with the Cavs is just, I mean, it does suck for the Cleveland Cavaliers because a lot of the things I'm saying about the Pacers, you could also relate to the Cleveland Cavaliers because they're a dynamic team as well, but they're just really hurt right now. So it's tough, man. But ultimately, they're going to need DG to come back. They're going to need, oh, man, they definitely going to need Donovan Mitchell to come back. I keep forgetting that he went down. And it'll be interesting, man. So I'm excited to see this series here. Above all, man, you know, I really think the Pacers definitely going to wrap it up in 5, man. I think they got it in 5. I think they got it in 5 for sure. So it'll be interesting to see. So above all, man, I appreciate you guys for kicking it with me, hanging with me. Man, I know I was gone for a minute just because of wisdom teeth and stuff, but again, man, don't trip. I ain't going nowhere. I was down bad. I mean, summer's coming up, so I'm gonna be taking vacations anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna be, yeah, we'll see. A lot of things will be happening. Anyway, look, man, I do appreciate you guys for kicking it with me. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the call-in number. Leave a quick take. Let me know what you think about the games. 219-413-9405, and of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna leave a positive note. Positive note here is just gonna be, you know, don't beat yourself down if you do have to take a break from something you enjoy doing. Like in this instance for me, it was the wisdom teeth. I had to scale back a little couple of mental challenges. I'm like, damn, I want to get content out. I want to get the pod out, but it was hard to because like literally, I mean, I couldn't feel my mouth, as I've said. So, you know, don't beat yourself up about times when you're inactive for reasons that's not your fault. Because you know when you're back active, you're going to be up on it. You're going to be getting it done. You're going to be doing your thing. So I'm going to just keep it at that, man. Other than that, that's all I got for y'all. So I appreciate you for kicking it with me. We'll be back next week. Of course, I'm going to try and get a couple of guests on here. So we'll be back next week and so on and so on and so on.